2018 GSL Season 2 Codes Overgrowth.
Watch out, my heart is a hurricane, baby. I will blow you away. It's such a joy.
Welcome back to the GSL Codes. It's Lucira versus Gumiho coming up next. I think Gumiho takes this one. I think this is a match where there is a clear favorite. What do you say, Artosis?
Well, Gumiho is a GSL champion and generally goes higher than Lucira, but according to Lucira, man, anyone can win anything. So, I don't know. Lucira is a very strong Zerg, all jokes aside. He's, you can't underestimate him. He puts out some very good games from time to time. But he does have that staying power. Gumiho was talking about how he feels like his TVZ maybe isn't quite up to snuff. He's not totally comfortable with the Raven Ghost transitions and stuff, so maybe that'll play a part.
Lucira, one of the old school players here in StarCraft 2, who's still able to keep up. Some of these other great players, they retire, they move on to coaching or other various lines of work in esports, but Lucira has been staying strong. I got a lot of respect for this guy.
Former GSL finalist.
That's right. He lost to Nesty, correct?
Nesty kicked him to a vat of acid, yes.
Yes.
It was a 4-0.
That was like 7 years ago, 6 years ago. But he's still here. He's still going strong. And look, if you're going to have to qualify for the GSL, why not? And, he is somebody who takes this very seriously. He doesn't always bring the results he wants. And he's up against Gumiho, who's one of the other very old school players, but managed to achieve his dreams, albeit later in his pro gaming career. He became a GSL Codes champion. And now he's trying to fight to maintain that status, to keep that reputation, because he's not somebody we default to talking about as a top tier, and maybe you and I don't, at least, compared to like Innovation, for instance, or Maru.
Well, he had a little stretch, but it didn't stay. That's the problem, right? You hear a lot of people like, oh, shouldn't he be one of the 4 horsemen? No, man, that's not how it works. Like, for him to even be considered one of the top in the world, he does have to keep on putting out those results. And, I mean, he does well, and he does better than most Terrans. In fact, I would even say he does better than Bjorn for the last bit now. So that's pretty cool. But, like, he hasn't been an Innovation of Maru at TY.
So we're going to start things off on Blackpink. Again, Gumiho is the player that right now we're evaluating as being much stronger than Lucira, but Lucira has still coming back to GSL, so he's still fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe this is his chance to redeem himself, to try to get to that winner's match. All right, our game's loaded up. This is game 1, Lucira versus Gumiho.
Lucira.
Well, hope he can win.
It's going to be tough, man.
I like his personality so much.
Psystorm Gaming. Gumiho.
Well, I want Lucira to win just so I can hear his voice.
Well, so here's this is a tough group for me, right? Because I actually really like Patience's Protoss, and I'm a Protoss player. And then Gumiho is one of my favorite Terrans to watch always, because he goes Mac. And then we got Scarlet, obviously, the foreign hope of GSL generally. And then we have Lucira, who I just declared as my favorite Zerg in the whole world. So, yeah.
Just for fun.
What is that all being shot at?
I think those are Seiko missiles. Oh, that's Chisato's hair. That's one of our
hair?
Korean casters.
It's not orange, though.
We don't have orange markers in the studio.
Ah, that's the thing. But why would it be launched at Chisato's hair?
I don't know.
Why are you launching? Oh, because it makes it orange.
Yes, of course. Oh, we're dumb. Thanks for coming down,
Plus,
guys.
his hair takes additional damage.
That's right.
Wow. I'm slow. I like that, though. That's good. That's good.
What do you think Lucira's biggest problem is as a player? I don't normally like talking like this, but he is somebody who's obviously, he's good enough that he can keep returning over and over.
Okay.
to a GSL. So I mean, in of itself, that's phenomenal. You are clearly one of the top 32 in the world, but he never gets to the upper echelon. He's never in the top 8. For instance.
Okay, so here's my problem, is that because Losira is never a real contender, and he doesn't make it super deep, I don't pay as much attention or devote as much brain energy to remembering everything he does. If I had a moment, I'd look through my notes and tell you, but I mean, my general feel is that like parts of his mid game aren't that good. Like thinking back to like TVZs, he ends up losing and stuff. By the way, he's getting Overlord speed. That's kind of cool. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. I just wonder if that could be part of it, where like he just eventually doesn't have the right units, right? He just it's like eventually Innovation's like, okay, now you're dead. Like it takes like only a few Zergs really can keep up in those ways. But yeah, I'm not actually 100% sure. I'll have to try to watch for that this game. So some Hellions being made here, an Armory being made very quickly, and a Medevac. So this really points towards a Hellbat push coming up. But a Roach Warren's already on the way for Losira, which is kind of nice. And by the way, Losira's on 2 base. So while we were talking about all that, Losira was sitting here on 2 base. So that's kind of interesting to see. Where's that third hatch? Okay, it goes down to the third.
Yeah, just planted it over there.
That's a rather late third base, though.
It certainly is. The Roach Warren's almost finished. But that's curious. Like, why exactly did he do it like that? I'm wondering if we're going to see some interesting plays pan out after this. By the way, we're going to have a small push coming here from Gumiho. Now, generally, if he did get a third base a little bit later, then you would expect Zerg to have a little bit more to deal with this, but it doesn't seem like Losira actually has that much. Like, he might have overdroned. The Roaches are about to come out here, but it looks like one Queen is immediately going to go down.
Yeah, this is hitting just before his Roaches.
This could not have been timed out better, to be honest.
He's only got 2 drones so far, though, so there's still time for him to really pull this defense together. Lost 2 Queens so far as well.
He's
Some
going
of
to
these
lose a
Roaches
third,
going down.
Uh-oh.
Those 2 Hellions rallied up.
Oh
boy,
my God.
oh boy.
Okay, he actually has killed off those Hellions. Okay, these drones actually don't have anywhere to go now. If the Hellions can get close to them.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, he's just going to drop one here. This is beautiful.
Oh my God. Swift micro there too. 13 going down.
But here's what's crazy. It could have been much worse.
Yeah.
Okay, he's actually going to just target down the remaining drones.
Okay, so 14 drones, 3 Queens, several Roaches. I feel like if you go for a reasonably quick Roach Warren and this happens to you, this does not leave you with, a whole lot of outs or a whole lot of confidence in winning the match.
There's no complex master plan for how to close the game here from Gumiho, guys. He's going to send the Banshee out because he already made it. He is going to make more units and probably kill Losira with the next push.
Yeah, like here comes this push, right? The Banshee really makes this tough. The amount of damage output there is
Keep in mind
huge.
that the number of Queens that were killed off means there isn't as immediate the anti-air. Those Queens had to be remade. He doesn't have anything to spot the cloak that's mobile. There's just a spore back here. The Banshee's additional damage actually adds up pretty highly. This is not normally how we see a StarCraft 2 game in the GSL go.
Well, this one was definitely very rough. It's too bad because if the Roaches are out when that attack comes, he holds it for sure.
Yeah, well, he killed off 2 Queens before the Roaches were really... Oh, my God!
Oh, boy.
11 kills there. So Lucera's down to 25 drones. GG. Wow. Lucera just fizzling out there.
Yeah, he was butchered that game, unfortunately. What can you say? The Hellbat timing attack nailed him. Game 2, let's go.
That's what a timing looks like. It got in there exactly before Lucera had the tools necessary to dismantle that push. The damage was done. Even when Lucera finally held it off, he was bleeding out. That next push just closed the game out.
Yeah. The damage was simply too high.
Hopefully,
you can see he's not happy with that.
Well, I would be so upset if I was him.
Well, that's the game
went like that.
You lose a game like that in the ladder, you just quit and re-queue. You're like, oops.
Yeah.
Games are not supposed to look like that.
Or you do what I do when I lose a ladder game: is I stand up and I pace for like 2 minutes because I'm the salt. The salt is flowing through my veins.
Yeah. I don't know what that would feel like, but Neon Violet Square coming up next. This is a map where we see a lot of long games. in every matchup, really.
Well, let's hope we see a long one here. Lucera looking a little bit bumpy from that game 1. Again, Lucera is the underdog here, but we were not even able to get to an ordinary StarCraft 2 game at pro level back there. That's usually what a game looks like when one player is laddering and is clearly better and is gliding through to the next rank, and this other partner just happened to be in his way.
Yeah, well, I think Lucera will show a much better game this time. Hey, it would be hard to show a worse game, right?
Yeah.
Fight!
That game did feel weird.
Yeah.
Lucera.
You know what's funny about it is that there's part of your brain that like looks at a push like that come in and says, oh, this is bad for Zerg. But then there's another part of your brain, if you cast a lot of GSL, you're saying, no, there's no way it's going to end this fast.
Psystorm
Yeah.
Gaming.
You know,
Especially on the
Gumiho.
roaches you're making.
like I was assuming like surely I've just not seen Lings or something that's going to be able to help hold off that push. And then when it gets there, it's like,
Yeah.
nope. It was exactly what it looked like.
Especially because he opened up so quickly with Zerglings. I mean,
Roach Sworn.
with the Roach Run, but also Overlord speed, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like anything should be a surprise. If you have Overlord speed, it's kind of a sacrifice in some other ways. We even saw it's okay to eat
You
food
can
at
eat
GSL. It's
food at
long.
GSL. It's okay.
Tastes up here eating pizza right now. I swear to God.
It's true. I got a box of pizza right over here.
Yeah.
And a nice ice Americano, Heartburn City, here I come.
It's so true. CC first. But anyways, you're sacrificing things by getting that extra gas, by getting that Overlord speed upgrade, right? But that's supposed to make it so you don't die to anything early on. That's why, for instance, there was like 2 years where Dark did it like every game against every race, basically. He's just like, nah, I don't want to die. I don't know. Anyways, he'll show a better time here. He's actually double expanding quickly to this back base, which I find a little bit surprising that he's taking the back base very quickly.
It's going to be hard to secure a 4th if you expand like this.
Well, he's against the CC first, so there's not going to be any real early pressure. But it's just, you have less patches there, so...
Yeah.
But maybe he just wants to play kind of the defensive early game. That's kind of a neat thing about this map. I don't like calling people being wrong for which order they want to take it in. Let's see how he adjusts his strategy based on this. Maybe he wanted to skimp a bit more. Maybe he was looking at it as this is one defense point, and I'm only afraid of the early game from Gumiho, something like that.
Maybe he wants to make it look like he only took 2 bases, and Zerg generally don't expand back there.
That's true.
And
He took
Lucera-
2 bases last game.
Yeah, and Lucera is somebody who I think he's slightly cheesier than some of our other Zergs. I wouldn't say as successful with his cheese, but there might be it might be more for the optics and trying to lead Gumiho down the wrong path. Now I feel like Gumiho is a pretty refined Terran who, even if he's against something unusual, sort of has the natural RTS instincts to do fine.
Well, you certainly should be. He's a top 4 or 5 Terran or so in the world, so you'd expect him to be able to figure out what's going on.
All right.
Oh.
Well, just for consistency, we're going to have another pause here.
Yeah. Neon Violet Square, apparently. I'm going to go ahead and make my own conspiracy theory here. Those squares, they're lagging the PC. That's what's wrong with my PC taste.
That's right. You need a special
figure it
graphics
out.
card that is able to handle not just many squares, but ones that are neon violet.
The NVIDIA Violet Square.
That's right.
Oh, he asked for the lights to be turned down. They're too bright.
What else do you want, buddy? You want the thermostat turned up a little bit? I mean, how else can we?
Maybe.
Yeah. So, listen, I want a bucket of warm water that I soak my feet in while I play this match.
Do you remember the issues in the very old days about gamma in FPS games for tournament type things?
Actually, I don't think I do know it. But can you elaborate?
Well, it just kind of reminded me. Oh, Lucera just had like LASIK surgery.
Oh, so
So
the
the
eyes
lights were
hurting
kinda bothering
lights
his
are hurting his
eyes.
eyes.
Oh, that
Okay,
makes sense.
all right.
By the way, Korea, great place to get that done. Costs about $1,000 for.
We have a
the
lot of
eye
medical
surgery.
tourism out here.
Yes, indeed.
We're back.
So, anyways, it was something. It was a long time ago, but I remember there was some sort of stuff where it's like You know, around dark corners and like Quake or something like that, if you put your gamma up really high, you could kind of see things more easily.
Oh, no, I think I do know about this. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I don't have a lot else said. I just thought of that suddenly. It's like, oh, he just wants to see. It's like the gamma on his PC is too high or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was just like a little thing. I don't remember the particulars of it very well, but it was something like that.
Roach Warren coming up here. We're still waiting to see if Lucira can kind of manage this time around here. Speaking of, so I had no idea that he just had a, what do you call that when you have the eye surgery? What is that?
LASIK?
LASIK, thank you. I had no idea. You have perfect vision, right?
I mean, I used to. I don't anymore.
You don't wear contacts though, right?
No.
Yeah, me neither. We're actually lucked out with that. How is
Well,
that? All we do is
when-
read books and look at computer screens. So.
Many a year ago, you and I got our vision test, and it was actually the same. And it was like not perfect, but it was still good
It's
enough.
like
we didn't
2025.
glasses.
I don't think they use the same
remember numbers.
measurement.
I don't know what the numbers mean at all, but like,
2020 is perfect.
I don't know. I might need glasses nowadays, to be honest. I'm having a harder time with things. And I gotta tell you what, Tasteless.
Artosis.
You ever think you're putting lasers in my eyes to fix them? I'll wear the thickest nerd glasses you ever saw. No lasers are touching my eyes. I'm not having some Protoss ass
you'd be
surgeon
freaked out by
come
that?
after me. No, it's not happening.
Really?
It's the craziest thing I ever heard. People put lasers in their eyes.
Oh, I'd do it. I mean, I don't need it, but I'm just saying if I didn't need it, I'd do it.
Yeah, you would do it. Yeah, don't shoot the lasers in my eyes, Tasteless says. Okay, Tasteless.
Make
you
my
and
vision
everyone
better.
else, man.
Taze is going to become a superhuman,
Bunch
man.
of laser
Yeah.
eyes, people. It's actually true. It makes your vision really good. My wife's vision is better than mine now. She had terrible vision when I met her. Yeah. There you go. Great story. So mech on the way. And by the way, that scout that came out, look, he's like kind of being a little bit careful. Gumiho is in a way, right? Because the scout came out, the Reaper, and he sacrificed it, and he saw Roach Warren, and he just saw only 2 bases. He hasn't seen that back right yet, as far as I know. So it makes you a little bit scared. Some siege tanks being made. Was he originally planning to make siege tanks at this time, or is this a defensive precaution? The world may never know. Just like licks to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
You know, I got to say, this was going to be a little bit of a slower game to start things off, but with Gumiho's mech, especially if it's going to be more of a mobile mech, I think this is going to be pretty tough for Lucira to deal with.
I don't think, like, he's got a little harass force, but he's already making siege tanks, so that points towards a much longer game. Because you can't
Let's see if he
attack with
keeps
siege
making
tank based units for a long time. Like, if you want to keep pressure on, I think you have to just basically be building cyclones the whole time. You know?
Oh, this is cute. It's one way to try to push this.
Watch him not get it.
Yeah, he actually
that's
does not get it.
hilarious. Oh, burrow and burrow movement coming up here for Lucira. That's kind of neat.
Well, I think he's got some more breathing room until Terran's actually going to push out.
This kind of shows as well the age of Lucira. Lucira's been playing since the very, very, very beginning of StarCraft 2. And mech was a thing in the beginning. And Roach Burrow with burrow movement was one of the ways that people did fight against mech back then. It can have use.
Is he a StarCraft 1 Pro ever?
You should know this, and I think I might have at one point. but
recollection of if he was or was not.
He was probably a practice partner. I don't remember him being a pro at all, but he could have been a practice partner. Like every team kept basically a roster of kids that had potential to be pros. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I think very few of the old school guys started on StarCraft 2. Because if you were old school, you had to already be good at RTS. If you were like in the first seasons of GSL, you were a StarCraft 1 or a Warcraft 3 player, and that was it.
The Thors are going to come out now for some harass. Looks like that was spotted by the Changeling there. And Gumiho is doing the waiting game. We see he's still making tanks, so he's in about the most turtle posture that you can be in. And he will either wait for 150 or above supply before he's going to push out here.
And this is, so far from Lucira, if you look at it, his creep spread is really, really awesome. And, like, he's just kind of doing well. You know? He's got a lot of tech, a lot of upgrades. He's actually getting 2 more evolution chambers to eat with his Vipers. And there's no way that Gumiho can really get a push out before the Vipers are ready. And he is on mostly Roach Hydra, so you do have to be a little bit careful, because, like, for instance, if you are trying to move out or rather, sorry, defend with a Roach Hydra Viper army, and the Terran pushes with a siege tank based army, and your Vipers do not work well, you will lose the game.
Very true.
That will be all she wrote about your Zerg.
Gumiho has expanded just outside, and a little bit more of the advanced spots to expand to, not that one that's tucked away. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see Lucera scramble and try to take a gold base or just push out a little bit more here, since there was such a passive opening here from Gumiho.
That's a lot of siege tanks and a planetary.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's going to be tough to break into. Looks like the barracks is going to be shot down, so he's already... Oh! Don't do it. Don't get greedy.
It's funny. It's just like that Overlord from before.
Yeah.
These two not able to kill too much from each other.
Yeah.
Look at that, 20 more drones being added.
Uh-oh.
So he's going to be up to about 100 drones. Whoa, get wrecked, Hydras.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely turning into a big game. Additional star reports on the way. It looks like Gumiho not really looking to push too early here.
It might actually be Lucero who's going to take the first initiative.
He can't attack that area, but he's going to eventually have to do something, because when Gumiho maxes out, like, Lucera's army's ready for a fight right now, but if you're just sitting on Roach Hydra the whole time and Gumiho can get whatever he wants, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, really slow game here for game 2.
Yeah, this definitely happens on this map from time to time, but
I mean, Gumiho kind of forced it.
yeah, certainly.
Lucero has nothing that he can do other than to try to, respect the strength of the mech. We're not getting it on camera. Okay, we've seen the tail end of it, but some Hydras trying to hit some of these workers.
And Lucero just kind of pacing around right now, jumping in and out of these sensor tower ranges. You notice when he jumps in, a lot of the time we're seeing a scan. Just kind of Gumiho keeping on top of everything. Gumiho's actually getting much better trades, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
anytime I'm seeing these Hellions actually kill Hydras,
That's all you need. You know that it's okay to send these Hellions out. You end up with this excess of minerals when you're doing a mech style play. And so you see these Hellions, it's kind of like a mineral dump. Like, I need to get something out here. I need to try to get any damage off that you can.
very nice.
Okay.
I like the spell usage. Just kind of poking in, doing anything that he can.
More
Some
Hellions
running past.
Yeah, these Hellions going to try to come up here. They might actually end up killing off a decent amount of drones.
Yeah, definitely good.
This mech army's pretty upgraded. And there's just not enough to actually defend, so all the workers here are going to be killed off.
Yeah. The thing is, his economy was pretty darn solid. He lost 20 drones and still has 66. So he can remake what he wants from that. He's got a decent-sized bank and everything. I don't think he's like too affected by that move, even though it was still decent, I would say, from Gumiho. Ravens being produced, 3-3 on both sides. Looks like we're going to be getting into the Broodlords at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're both having to respond with these techs going up and up and up. About to have 3-3 right now for mech as that finishes. Now, Lucera has, of course, outgrown Gumiho. That's what he's supposed to be doing. But Gumiho's finally at the point where he gets to act. You can see it took 12 minutes for the game to get to this point in time, but now is the moment that the turtling ends and Gumiho begins to stretch out with this insane number of siege tanks. It's very scary for the Zerg. One bad engage and your army disappears.
Yeah, it's very true. It's got to be careful about this. It looks like I only see one Viper with this army, so that's a bit scary as well. Oh boy. Well, here we go. Broodlord's coming in from the side, and actually not a lot of anti-Broodlord here. Well, now there is. That they're stopped attacking the Roach and Hydra. Going after those Broodlords. Not too much anti-air here over on Lucera's side.
I think Lucera is just going to get rolled, ladies and gentlemen. This army is pushing through, and I don't even know if Lucera can remake enough to actually deal with this. Now, what Gumiho did is actually harder than it looks to stop, because he basically has an army that's damage output is insane. And so Gumiho is going to base hop from location to location, slowly shutting Lucera down. And this may go all the way into the main here. Ow.
Yeah, Lucera having a very hard time in this series overall. So you were asking what Losera does wrong. I can say what he did wrong in this game specifically, right? Like, he made this army to stop the first push from mech that might come out, right? With some Vipers and some Roach and some Hydra. But it felt like he was not... Like, he made the army, he ran around, didn't really get much done, lost a couple Vipers, then, like, made a medium amount of Broodlords. So his army was just kind of, like, not the right army.
GG.
You know what I mean? It was like, there's one Viper, and then there's, like, some Broodlords on the side, and Gumiho has, like, every unit he needs to stop this. Like, if you're going air, go air. If you're going for ground, you have to have more Vipers. And he kind of had middle of the road on both accounts, and Gumiho just slaughtered him. That was pretty hard.
That was a murdering that we saw back there. I am hoping Lucero can bring better games, but right now, it's like he just does not seem to be the same caliber. Unfortunately, this is a cycle we've seen repeated here. Okay, enough of that. We're going to take a short break. We come back. The winner's match, Scarlet versus Gumiho. It's going to be sick. Don't go away. We'll be right back here at the GSL Code S.